Alright, in this video demonstration we're going to go to server C and implement DHCP and configure NAP for the scope that we create. Just as a reminder, as you are going through and setting up NAP, remember that NAP's mission is to thwart non-compliant computers but not non-compliant users. Alright, just keep that in mind. So we're on server C and I'm going to go to Start, Administrative Tools, and DHCP. I do not have a DHCP role installed, so I'm going to go ahead to Server Manager, because I know I don't have it installed because I don't see it on my menu here. So I'll go ahead and go to Server Manager and install DHCP. Go to my roles, add roles, select DHCP Server. I assume you all might already have DHCP installed, and that's okay. Just move on if you already do. I'm going to go down to my confirmation screen just so I can get it installed and not go through the wizard for the installation of the role. I'll come back a little bit later after this installs and actually do my scope configuration. Alright, so the DHCP server role has been installed. Close that out. Close out of my server manager. Go to Start, Administrative Tools, and then now I have DHCP. Open up the DHCP snap-in. Go to IPv4, and I'm going to right-click IPv4 and say New Scope. And I'm going to make a new scope for my 96 network, and I'm going to call this NAP scope. And my 96 network is 192.168.55.97 through 126 with a length of 27 subnet mask, as you see here. Any exclusions? Actually, let's see here. Do I have an exclusion? I'm going to exclude all addresses except the last one. So 192.168.55.97 through 192.168.55.126. Actually 125, because 126 is the last one, except the last one. So that's got 97 through 125 excluded. So the only available IP address I have in this range right now that's live is .126. Didn't specify anything about the reservation time, so I'm just going to say next. And let's configure some additional options here. We want to configure the default gateway to be 97, because that's the one to get out on that 96 network. And the appropriate DNS information has already been specified here. This is my parent domain. This is the IP address of my DNS server. Yours will probably be the same as well. Not going to specify a WIN server. We do want to activate the scope and finish. Now we want to create a reservation. So let's go inside our scope here and go to reservations, and I'm going to right click and say new reservation, and we'll make a reservation for 126 for our Windows 7 machine. And we're going to need to get Windows 7's MAC address. I'm going to jump over to Windows 7 and let's do an IP config all so I can see his MAC address. So 00155D. And 7D2517. Just double check, make sure it's good to go. Alright, we're going to say add, close. So we've got the reservation created, and that's what we need to do for this first portion. The last thing we need to do is enable NAP for the scope and use the default NAP profile. So not all scopes, so we don't want to go to IPv4. We don't want to go here to IPv4 properties and NAP. That's going to do it for all scopes. We actually want to go to the scope itself, right click and go to properties, then go to the network access protection tab and enable NAP for this scope and use the default NAP protection profile and say OK. And that's all we need to do for this portion of the lab.